Manchester United have done it. They are through to another FA Cup final under Ten Hag. And you know what? Rasmus Højlund's final penalty, he took it, he put it away, ran to celebrate in front of the fans. He turned around and there was no one behind him, because that just sums up the way that Manchester United have actually beaten Coventry, that the players didn't even think it was sufficient enough, and good on them to actually be clued on not to do that, because I would have actually laughed at them if they had celebrated getting to the final after this performance. It's as simple as that. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. You guys know what it is. You can join the membership club. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content as well. If you have any opinions, any thoughts, any comments, any questions about this game, you can send in super chats with your thoughts, and that also supports the growth of the channel. Now, Manchester United were 3-0 up, guys. I'm not kidding. 3-0 up, 70 minutes of the game. 70 minutes of the game. And I saw a stat. Across the FA Cup campaign, Manchester United conceded 2 goals in 11 minutes against Newport. They conceded 2 goals in 2 minutes against Liverpool, and they conceded 2 goals in 8 minutes against Coventry City. I will be so honest. I'm happy to be in another final. I am happy to be in another final, but I have to feel sorry for Coventry, because we shithoused our way through. That penalty shootout, yeah, that penalty shootout, it was more so that they missed one penalty and Onana saved the penalty rather than anything else. And United caught life, guys. Disallowed goal because of VAR in extra time. The 120, what was it, 121 minutes, I think it was, where they had a disallowed goal, inches offside. I swear, United caught life. United actually caught life. And there is no way I will be gaslit and have people tell me that this is part of the process. This is not part of the process. Going toe-to-toe, yeah? Going toe-to-toe with Coventry City. No disrespect to Coventry City, but the caliber of what Manchester United is in comparison to Coventry City is not on par. It's not on par, number one. Number two, on paper, United should have the better team. United should be cruising through. United should be cruising past them on paper. Of course, games are not games are not won on paper, so I understand that. But you're telling me in the summer transfer window this year, they spent 30-something million euros in total. Our cheapest signing was probably more than that this summer. Our cheapest signing was probably more than that. I will be real, even like we'll go to the breakdown of the game, but just random parts that I'm thinking about right now. Rasmus Højlund, for me, United have to go buy a striker this summer, an experienced one. He's too raw. Maybe it's because I don't have the patience. Maybe it's that. I mean, the fact his penalty summed it up for me. His inexperience of his penalty summed it up for me. The fact that he took the winning penalty and went and celebrated in front of the fans, and he's doing this, he's doing all of this, and he looks behind him and no one's behind him. Not a one player is behind him, come running up to celebrate, all of that sort of stuff. They're not doing that. Marcus Rashford, I can't lie. A bit of the game, I was like, okay, Marcus looks like he's on stuff. I thought, all right, he looks like he's doing everything right. It's the final product's not there. That's what I felt like. But the more the game went on, the more it just looked like he started to give up. And I really think, I'm not making excuses, but I genuinely think this guy's been playing through an injury that we don't know about. And he's not resting because the manager needs him amongst, other players. Because him and Bruno, for the first 30 minutes or so, they were doing the same nonsense. They were, giving away possession so cheaply. And I will be honest, the fact that Coventry gave Man United, guys, a 70-minute head start. In 120 minutes, they gave us a 70-minute head start and absolutely breezed their way back into a comeback. Breezed their way in. Excuse me. One of them, okay, lucky, deflection, heavy deflection of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The keeper himself he starts to go for it and then he just stops. One of the goals, first goal, Onana beat at his near post again. Going down too early or too late. Someone tell me, please, wallahi, what is it with Andre Onana and his diving technique? Because it's either he reads the ball and he reads the shot and he goes too early for shots that he should be saving, and then the shots that are fizzed at him, he's saving it quick. He made a phenomenal save. Outside of the box, I think it was a volley. He made a great save, but when it's near him, in front of him, all the time in the world. He gets down so late, near post every time. Cash money. We used to make jokes about David De Gea getting beat at his near post. Let's have the same energy for Andre Onana, please. Let's have the same energy for him. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Harry Maguire, for me, I think he had a good game. I don't know if you lot share the same sentiment with me, but I felt like Harry Maguire had a good game, had a reasonably good game. He had involvement in the first 2 goals. Obviously, he scored one, and the first one, he actually started the build-up to it. But I just felt like it was just an uninspiring performance. Like, at no point did I feel comfortable, even at 3-0, And how many times have we been there this season, guys? How many times have we been there this season at 3-0, 2-0, 3-1, whatever the score is, United's leading. How many times have we still not felt confident? Because it just takes United to concede 1 goal for their minds to just get lost. And you know what, people might say this is not on the manager, and it's true. The manager's not the one that gave away the penalty, but I'm not joking. The manager is the one that is insistent on playing a right back at left back. He's insistent on playing Aaron Wan-Bissaka at left back. We trialed it 1 game, it worked. Why are you continuing with it? I'm not kidding. For me, you lot know where I am. You lot know where I stand. I will never say I want the manager to be sacked, but he's not turning this around. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse. And you know what? I will be so honest. It shouldn't have got this far into the season for everybody to start seeing it. Because after that Champions League campaign that Manchester United had, where they were just blowing leads left, right, centre, worst finish in a Champions League campaign, conceded record number of goals for an English team, that should have been the warning sign. That should have been the warning sign. But yet, people have continued, trust the process, trust this, trust that. How many times does Erik Ten Hag have to show you guys his true face and his true values and his true standards to understand that this is not going to change? This is going to persist. The problems are going to persist. The issues are going to persist. Casemiro playing centre-back today, there was a moment where he was shouting at his midfield, and I was cracking up because I was thinking, he knows Casemiro now feels how defenders feel when Casemiro's playing in midfield. He's playing centre back, saying, "Where's the midfield? Where's the support, bro?" Now you know how it feels when you fucking play in midfield. Excuse my language. I don't like to swear. Today has just absolutely irritated me. It's honestly irritated me, and I get it. I'm happy that United are going to another final against Manchester City, who haven't been the most influential throughout the campaign of the FA Cup, but United have been. If this was Man United last year, I would have tipped us to beat City in the final. This year, I would have tipped us, but it's the fact that United have been playing the way that they've been playing this year. I am not confident at all. Of course, that's a conversation we can get to later on into the next couple of weeks. Closer to the FA Cup final. But shout out to the men and women, consecutive FA Cup finals in Wembley. A lot of clubs can't say that, so that's a positive. Really, that's the only positive I have from this. Coventry, I swear, I'm sure Coventry fans and players are gonna walk away from this feeling like they really could have took something. They really could have caused possibly one of the biggest upsets in FA Cup. Let's talk about the substitutions, because for me, I think that's where let me get actually to the super chats, then I'm going to get to the substitutions. Big up MUFC, been a member for 5 months. Big up, says, what a disgrace of a football club we have become. Glazers out, Jim the Rat Judas out, players out, coaches out, everyone out, lunch ladies out. What else? Coach drivers out. Security can keep their job. Security guards can keep their job. Big up to Hasnain, says, hey Minis, Usman, big up Usman, I hope you're doing well. I'm gutted that Coventry lost. What do you think about the referee performance? Look forward to your emails. What did I think about the referee performance? I think he got a lot of the calls right. It was so shameless for us to be calling for a handball. That's quite shameless. Big up to Aminor, says, Wallahi Mina, I was laughing at Erik Ten Hag and I was laughing at extra time and wanting Coventry to win. What is wrong with me to want Coventry to win today? Please help, sister. I wish I could help you, bro. Because when I saw those substitutions and Garnacho's face, he looked pissed. Big up to everyone for the super chats. I appreciate it as always. I want to hear people's thoughts, opinions, etc. Garnacho's face when he was coming off, he looked so angry. He looked rattled, and I looked at it and I thought, there is no way. You're looking at that front line and you're thinking Garnacho's. I understand the concept that Garnacho has played how many games consecutive starts. 19 years of age. I understand that. I understand the fatigue. Okay, cool. But you brought on Anthony. Anthony, what did Anthony do when he came on? My guys, penalty shootouts. When it finished, he was cupping his ear to the Coventry fans. Do you know how fucking shameless you have to be? Do you know how shameless you have to be to do that? And again, excuse my language. I'm gonna try my best not to swear, guys. I'm really gonna try my best not to swear. Do you know how shameless you have to be top half championship side that's not in the playoffs? They're not fighting for a playoff spot at the moment, but you beat them. They took you to penalties. Do you know how shameless you have? You didn't even start. The manager brought you on because his young player, he's probably feeling like the guy's tired. Okay, whatever reasoning behind Eric Ten Hag took him off. Pointless substitution. I'm sorry. Free Amad Diallo. The worst thing is, if Rashford didn't pull up, the way that he did, Amad Diallo probably wouldn't have come on. Rashford might have played the full 120 and he would have kept him on for penalties. He might have done that. But if Rashford had not pulled up, he really had no other options. But how do you look at your bench and you see Anthony on one side and you see Ahmad on the other side and you say Anthony is the one that I'm going to bring on? I don't know. At that point, I'm 100%, I'm thinking there is something wrong with this guy in his brain. There has to be, because in a game like today, especially where I felt like there was parts of the game where Coventry were playing with like a quite compact low block, and then they would try to hit you on the counter, which they tried to do. Amad Diallo is perfect for that. Amad Diallo even did an interview. Man United made him do a midweek interview on MUTV previewing this game. Why? Because he is the only player in the team that has experience against this Coventry team. He is the only player in this team that has experience against Coventry. He played them twice last season. He said, I know X player and Y player, the threats that they cause, la, 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 la. That's what he was talking about in the interview. And then he came on, was a bright spark, was definitely, I think, I definitely think was some positive sparks coming off the bench. I think you look at the bench and outside of Ericsson, outside of Ahmad, outside of Anthony, there's not really anyone else to bring on. Amari Forson got some time on. That's it. Like, I get it. It's injury ridden. The team is injury ridden right now. I am so sympathetic with that. But you should have been able to comfortably beat Coventry with your starting 11. Whether or not that is Eric Ten Hag's full and fit 100% starting 11, these are experienced enough players to put the game out. I can't comprehend how people are making excuses for this. I cannot understand it. I will never call on a manager to get sacked. I hope Eric Ten Hag resigns. I hope he takes his dignity that he has and he understands that this is not getting any better. And sometimes I think you can admit that something's not working. You can admit that. This has not been working for the best part of 9 months. We are in April. Season started in August. This has not been working for the best part of 9 months, guys. 9 months. That's enough time to give birth. Yeah, that's enough time to give birth. Ahmad managed to play. He got sent off in the quarterfinal. He carried that. You carry it over to Premier League. So he missed the Brentford game in the Premier League after that FA Cup for Reaper 2004. That's answering that question. It's carried over in the league because it's a league competition. But I need to catch a breath because I'm actually livid. The things that I've been hearing today and seeing today, I'm just like, this can't be real. We must be living in a simulation where it's acceptable for United to be playing like this, and it's excused by injuries. Injuries is not an excuse to blow a 3-0 lead. That's not an excuse. And every time can I say, when United have blown leads, Liverpool come back in the Premier League. When Liverpool came back against us in the Premier League, when we lost to Chelsea, it's always when Garnacho goes off. It's always when Garnacho comes off. And I've been saying this since January. I've been not Ten Hag out because I don't like the term Ten Hag out, but I don't want him as the manager anymore. And I've said since about December time, it was actually December that I said that I'm not buying what he's selling anymore. I'm not buying it. I want him to see the season out. I said I want him to get improve stuff, but if he doesn't improve stuff, then he has to go. And the players are equally part of the problem. Marcus Rashford, for me, I think for the sake of himself and his future, he should leave. Not including the fact that I think it's becoming a toxic situation between the fan base and Marcus Rashford. He got booed off at Wembley. You got booed off at Wembley in a semi-final when you pulled up because of a injury or whatever reason he pulled up. I'll never doubt if he's actually injured or not. I'm not going to be that person, yeah? But he got booed coming off. This is not the first time he's been booed off this season. It's not the first time. It definitely will not, I think, be the last time either. It won't be. He's been playing, I think, through an injury. I think he's been playing through an injury since Nottingham Forest back in the FA Cup fourth round. I think it was in February when I don't know if you don't remember, he was running into the box. It was like a sandwich basically, and he got clattered in his ribs, and they didn't give a penalty. I think it was that game. He's been carrying a knock reportedly since then. But to get booed off at Wembley in an FA Cup semi-final, it's unfortunate. It's sad. I'm going to call it what it is. It's sad. It's embarrassing. And I can't sit here and solely say this is on the manager, because I don't think, and I say this all the time, I don't think Erik Ten Hag sets the team up to lose. I think he sets them up to the best of their abilities that they can win. But Marcus Rashford, you're turning down how many blind alleys? How many times did he get the ball today, beat a first man, maybe beat the second man, and that final pass is so bad? You've done the hard part. You've done the hard part, which is to get past your man. You've done the difficult part. And now you're telling me you're going to underhit a ball or you're going to overhit a ball, running down blind alleys, trying to force a shot. He wanted a goal so desperately today. I really think Marcus Rashford wanted a goal so desperately today. Because what he was doing looked like, even when just before Bruno scored, he was screaming for Bruno to play the ball back to him. I'm not joking. He looked like he really wanted a goal, just so he could probably cup his ears to the fans. And I don't want to slate him, but I'm just saying, guys, it's very unfortunate the way that this situation with Marcus Rashford is turning out to be. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe, ran 26 miles today, yeah, to come and watch this performance afterwards. And have to sit next to a Glazer on the right of him. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. But I hope that they looked at this situation and they can see very clearly. Wallahi, I'm being so honest. If Man United lost today, and it's so sad because it feels like a loss. We're meant to be celebrating. Man United are through to another cup final. 3 trips to Wembley in 2 years during a rebuild process. That is what the headline should be about. That is what the headline should be about. Instead, we're sitting here dwelling on what could have been, or maybe what should have been against Coventry. We're here talking about a disallowed goal because of VAR that gave us a bit of life. A crossbar that saved us. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about that stuff. Instead of talking about the facts of being in another cup final. Erik Ten Hag, the process, the progress, whatever the hell you want to call it. You know, the fact that United have had 60 plus different injuries this year. And this is the 20-something different back four that United have been playing with. The fact that how many people are playing out of position. We got a DM playing as a centre back. We got a left back playing. We got a right back playing as a left back. I'm 100% convinced we got Andre Onana, who's actually a centre mid that's playing in goal. I don't care what anyone says. Andre Onana is a centre mid to me. He is a centre mid. Who needs to buy Frankie de Jong? We could just play Onana there. Take the gloves off him. His entire warm up is literally just him passing the ball. He spends like 5 minutes practicing saving shots, and the rest of it is just he's practicing his distribution. That's it. That's literally it. But I'm being so honest, there is no way anyone can paint this out to be. The only positives I'm taking from today's game, one, another cup final. That's it. That's it. There is nothing positive about blowing a 3-0 lead to a championship team. There's nothing positive about that. I can't, and people can say, and I have seen this, you can say, okay, one was a lucky deflection and a penalty that arguably couldn't have, like, it shouldn't have. Some people are saying it should have, what's the rules of the lines are very blurred when it comes to penalties with Manchester United. Like, the lines are very blurred. I don't know if you lot feel the same, but I feel like when it comes to penalties in Manchester United, the lines are blurred in terms of what is a penalty against Manchester United and what isn't, because we saw penalties given away against us in the Champions League that should have been a penalty. We've seen penalties not given to us in the Premier League that should have been a penalty, and then we're seeing penalties like today that some people are arguing it shouldn't be a penalty. Some people are saying it should be a penalty. I think I'm on the wall about it. It's like, where can his hand go? But your hand shouldn't be up like that anyways, and not in a decisive point, 90 plus minutes. And can I just say also, this is what probably confused me a little bit. As much as the substitutions confused me, I mean, you're bringing on Kobe, you're taking off Kobe, sorry, and you're bringing on Eriksen. Bro can't run. He can't run, okay? You're better off putting Sir Jim Ratcliffe in the midfield. At least that guy ran 26 miles today. You're better off playing Sir Jim Ratcliffe in the middle instead of Eriksen. But you're playing Eriksen because of his passing. Okay, understandable. Because of his distribution. Okay, understandable. Because of his ability when the ball is at his feet. Understandable, I get that. So why don't you start him? Instead, Erik Ten Hag went for the physicality of Scott McTominay. The second Kobbie Mainoo came off, yeah, Manchester United were being run around in the middle. They were being run around in the middle. Sims was playing phenomenally with his back to goal. Yeah, back to goal, hold up play against Casemiro or McTominay, or Maguire. He was dropping deep and bullying the midfield. Physically, he was bullying them. I'm not saying Kobbie Mainoo would have been a heap of a difference. I'm not saying Kobbie Mainoo would have been, I'm not saying that Kobbie Mainoo coming off was the reason why Manchester United ended up blowing the lead, right? I'm not saying that. But it doesn't make any sense. The only thing that I can think of justifying why Eriksen came on is the idea that experience. Seeing out the game, okay, you're 3-2 up, 5 minutes to go, yeah? Plus extra time, yeah? Why are we going for another goal? Why are we trying to score a fourth? Keep the ball. Just keep possession. Just try and keep possession. That's it. I mean, you can try. I'm not going to say that it's guaranteed that United will keep possession, but just try and keep a bit of possession. But United couldn't even do that. They could not even do that. It was actually like, I want to know if, and this is a question to everybody in the chat. This is a question to everyone. Do you genuinely think that a cup final win changes the ultimate fate for Erik Ten Hag? Because cup final or no cup final, Erik Ten Hag has proven to us this season that his ideology or his philosophy doesn't work. And some of these players don't work either. Both can be true at the same time. I hate this idea and this notion that it has to be one or the other. It has to be an Erik Ten Hag is the issue, or it's the players that are the issue. I hate that idea. Both can be true at the same time. But the criticisms, I think, is heavier for Erik Ten Hag because he's spent 450 million. Mason Mount cannot stay fit, but we brought him for 60 million when he had 1 year left on his contract. We spent 70 million on Rasmus Højlund, a kid that is so raw. He was acres of space in the 6-yard box, a ball at his feet. All he has to do is spin and shoot. I don't know what he did. My guy took like 10 touches before God knows what. Anthony, 100 million. Onana, I would say, is not even worth his price. Lisandro Martinez, yeah, was probably the only person worth what we paid for. And what's happened? We've ran him into the ground by bringing him back so quickly every time from injuries. This guy is being out for 3-4 months, coming back from an injury quickly to get injured again. Players are getting injured left, right, centre. Wallahi, you blow on a player, yeah, like that, and they get injured. What is going on in that Carrington training ground under Erik Ten Hag and his team? Are they beating the players up? Wallahi, like, honestly, for them to be getting injured like that, are they beating them with belts or something? Like, I'm not joking. What is going on in training, fitness-wise, for players to be falling like flies non-stop? And it's reoccurring. I think the only players that have not been injured this season, Bruno Fernandes, Diogo Dalot, and I think Garnacho. I think it's them three. They're the only players that haven't missed at least one game because of injury. Garnacho is being run into the ground right now. Marcus Rashford is still starting games somehow. Somehow he's still starting games when there are players that will take their opportunity when given. But 100 million spent, 70 million on Casemiro. 70 million spent on Casemiro. We brought in who else? Sabitzer on loan, Weghorst on loan. We brought in Amrabat on loan. Malacia, bro, I don't know if he exists. Was Malacia a hologram last year? Maybe he wasn't real because I ain't seen him. I ain't seen him since. Another player with injury problems. So yes, guys, both can be true at the same time. The players can be an issue and the manager is equally an issue. And the way that I see it is, unfortunately, it's like a school, okay? I'll give an analogy of a school. In the UK, we have a thing called Ofsted, which is like the national body for inspections by the government, where they come and inspect schools. The principal is responsible for the behavior of the school. So the students might make their own decisions. Today, I might decide to set a classroom on fire, but ultimately, it's the principal that will bear the brunt of it because the principal is responsible for the school. Erik Ten Hag is responsible for this squad. He's responsible for these players. Whether or not we have this argument of, oh, Maguire, oh, McTominay, 2 players scored today that the manager wanted to ship out in the summer. They saved him his job right now. Because if United had lost it, Ten Hag would have been sacked in the morning. From time Coventry fans were actually singing, you're getting sacked in the morning. Imagine that. Coventry fans are singing that to Ten Hag, saying you're getting sacked in the morning. But that is funny to me, that the 2 players that Erik Ten Hag wanted to ship out, arguably 2 players maybe that should have left, 2 players I know a lot of the fan base don't want to keep, was the 2 players that scored to keep the manager and save the manager at least another month in the job. At least. Because let's be real, we got Sheffield, we got Crystal Palace. Games that United should comfortably win. Will that happen? No, I just saw Crystal Palace put 4 past West Ham today. They put 4 past West Ham today. Can I just say that? I didn't watch a lot of the Premier League games because this one occupied all my flipping time. It went to flipping 120 minutes plus penalties. But for me, it's so... 5. They put 5 past West Ham. I left it when it was 4-1. Big up to Lil Yo-Yo, been a member for 4 months, says sell the players, sack the managers, rip it up. Listen, I've been saying rip it up from months ago. I can't even look at the comments from the manager's press conference, but I'm going to look at it because you don't know I like to trigger myself. Big up to JJ, says Keane and Carney said this is not a team, it's a bunch of individual players who play for their own moments. If Erik Ten Hag goes, several players should as well. 100%. I absolutely agree that if Erik Ten Hag leaves, that some of these players need to be gone with him. They need to be gone. But I'm just saying that both can be true at the same time. The manager's shit and the players are shit. Maybe Erik Ten Hag is like Unai Emery. And when I say that is maybe he is made for the middle teams. Maybe he's made for the Ajaxes and all of that kind of stuff. Maybe he's made for those, the Villarreals, like Unai Emery did a good job with them, etc., etc. Shit, I'm trying to do my password. I keep getting it wrong. Is that even my right password? Okay, I think it is. Yeah, there you go. You know I like to trigger myself, guys. So we're going to see if Erik Ten Hag's post-match comments has actually come out yet. I don't think it has, but I don't know why I'm looking at it. Oh, it has come out. All right, let me mentally prepare myself before I read this, yeah? Let me mentally prepare myself. Got to drink some drink. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Erik Ten Hag, speaking after the game, says it was an incredible game. Okay. A strange game too. Strange. Is that the description you want to use? Okay. We had total control for so long and then gave it away in the last part of the game. This is him speaking to the TV, by the way. It's not him speaking directly to media in the press conference. He then went on to say, we did show resilience to win the penalty shootout. You know what, guys? I'm even going to... Normally, I share my screen. I want you lot to read this with me because I don't want you lot to think that I'm making this up. We did show resilience to win the penalty shootout. What is this man talking about? What? He can't be real. You can't be real. You are right in a way that mentally, for a mentally fragile team to get to penalties, you have to overcome a little something to win it. Okay, cool. I mean, I haven't even spoken about Casemiro's disgusting penalty, doing his best impression of Bernardo Silva. You fraud. You absolute joke, man. He's actually a joke, man. He actually looks better at centre-back, can I just say that? Because he's not really chasing the game. But he's chasing shadows, all of that nonsense. But let me, here you go. Here you go, guys. Well, I'm not lying. This is what he said. It was an incredible game, a strange game too. We had total control for so long and then gave it away in the last part of the game. He did it on purpose. Do you actually think that penalty was on purpose from Casemiro? Do you think he was trying to, I don't know, man. That guy, he's a lost cause, bro. Like I said, Saudi won't even want him. Saudi league have standards. Like, I'm actually going to chat to some of my people in Saudi and make sure that they don't sign him. Go play in I was going to say the Somali Premier League. He shouldn't even be playing in the Somali Premier League. Like, no disrespect to the Somali Premier League, but they don't need him. He's actually dead. Well, thank you for your service last season. I will never forget that Casemiro season. Amazing. You changed my life last year, but it's time to go. I can't read this. I actually can't read this. We had control for 75 minutes and have to give Coventry a compliment for what they did in the last 15 minutes. Okay. I can't take this serious. We have to improve. We talk a lot about this. First, you have to put yourself in a winning position. 100% agree. But then you have to take it over the line. In these moments, we are making mistakes and not keeping our responsibilities. This is what I don't get. It's all fun and games saying all of this, but we've heard this for the last 6 months and nothing's changed. Nothing has changed for the last 6 months. I would actually like a player to come and sit with the manager in the press conference after the game. I wish Man United media team would do that. At least hold someone accountable. Because before the game, you had no issue making players like Amad Diallo do pre-match media. Straight after the game, you're making Maguire or Bruno because you know you're getting PR comments from them. You know you're not getting Dallo saying, oh, I disagree with the manager about the shots faced. You know you're not getting that stuff. We need honesty. We need people to accept, players to publicly accept that this is not good enough what they've been doing for the last 9 months. It's not good enough. And, because it's just ridiculous. It's actually quite ridiculous. It's crazy, man. Ten Hag was asked about whether there's a problem with mentality. We can't say this group doesn't have the right mentality because they showed their character day. But in the final part, there was a lack of discipline. I hear that. I absolutely hear that. He's right. There is a lack of discipline. But where does discipline come from? It comes from mentality. Discipline and mentality go hand in hand. Can I just say that? Discipline and mentality go hand in hand. In any aspect of life. For example, guys. Oh my God, I was meant to go to football today. Shit. The football started at 7 o'clock. Oh, shit. I need to text them to say I'm not coming. Oh, my bad. Oops. Again, anyway, I was back to the topic of mentality. Yeah. If you want to have discipline in your life, say you want to eat healthy, yeah. In order to have discipline, you have to be mentally strong to, turn down things. So, for example, if you are on a water diet, this is just hypothetical, but if you go on a complete water diet where you're not eating, you're just having water with electrolytes. If your friends are going out for dinner and they're going to your favorite restaurant, you have to have the mentality to be like, no, I'm not coming, guys. Sorry. That's mentality. That leads to discipline. I'm sorry, but it goes hand in hand. And for the best part of how bad have United been, guys? I'm not joking. I'll pull up my Instagram on the screen right now. After Galatasaray at Old Trafford, 2nd of October, I posted a picture on my Instagram. You can go look at it, yeah? I posted on my Instagram and I said, wake me up when the season ends. This was the first week of October and I was sick of them. I was sick of this team. That was when we were throwing away leads left, right, centre. If the Champions League campaign was anything to go off, Ten Hag should not have survived this long. But Erik Ten Hag was luckily in a position with new ownership coming in to kind of fix everything, fix the structure. That gave him time. That brought him time, but it was only borrowed time. That borrowed time was until the end of the season. And I've said this all the time, whether or not Erik Ten Hag got top 4, I said that if Ineos come in, they will change everything. They will change their manager. They will come in with their own idea and their own philosophy and their own style of play. I said this back in November when it was announced that they were taking over. I said this was what's going to happen. What happened? Sir Jim Ratcliffe came in. Umar Barada, bam. Jason Wilcox, bam. Dan Ashworth in process, bam. They've been knowing who they wanted, can I say? They've been knowing who they wanted for these positions. So do you actually think that I believe this idea that they don't know who they want their manager to be? They absolutely know who they want their manager to be, 100%. Because you don't just come in across the course of January, February, March, April, May, 5 months, 4 months. You don't just come in and start to decide, we're going to watch everything for the next couple months and see. No, you're not going to do that. You've just spent how much billions or millions, however much he's spent to buy the club. You've spent so much money. You are going to hit the ground running immediately. You're going to know who you want your CEO to be. You're going to know. I actually think, guys, that they knew all of this. I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Davis Brailsford, they knew who they wanted for all their roles before they even came to an agreement with the Glazers. When they were building their bids and they were bidding and they were in that process, that 12-month process, I think they were also planning, this is what we're going to do once we take over, if we take over. This is because you don't just plan this sort of stuff in the space of a couple of months. You don't do that. So inevitably, the manager is part of that. Erik Ten Hag, and we're going to get to it because I've seen in the last couple of days, talks from, I think it's the Mirror or someone at the Mirror talking about, how Erik Ten Hag will walk if he's not reassured that he's part of the plan. Walk then, walk. He went on to say, Erik Ten Hag did go on to say, it's mixed feelings within the squad. We can be happy with the achievement, getting to the final. That's huge. Even the big MUFC only. Oh my days. Hold on. Even the big MUFC, is he referring, when he says the big MUFC, is he referring to the Sir Alex Ferguson era? He's saying even the big MUFC only achieved it 3 times and we achieved it twice in 2 years. We need to win that final though. Oh man. You can't write this. You really can't write this. Like you actually can't write this. Big up to Riri with the super chat. It says Dashway, all them idiot man, them the whole Bumbleclot team and manager. I don't think Riri is happy with the result. I don't think she's happy with the performance. I would say not the result. I don't think she's happy with the performance. She said Dashway, all them idiot man, them the whole Bumbleclot team and manager. Big up to Riri with the super chat, and big up everyone else that sent in some super chats. I am waiting to see Erik Ten Hag's press conference comments, because that's the ones where he normally goes ham. That's the ones where he normally goes hand. So apparently after the game, Mark Robbins, the Coventry City manager, commented on the disallowed goal, and he said, had you right, cut his toenails, we wouldn't have been talking about penalties. He's taking the piss. He's saying it was just offside by his toenails. He's taking the piss. He's actually taking the piss. I can't lie. I didn't know. I didn't really see. I didn't think it was offside. But again, is the VAR in it? I ain't arguing with VAR. I'm not gonna argue with VAR. Do you guys feel like? Let me see. Actually, let me just double check quickly, just to make sure there's nothing post match. Nah, there's nothing post match from Erik Ten Hag. Big up there. Carl Anker and them man there, the Athletic, are normally my sources for press conference post match. They're normally my sources for that. But I want to hear everybody's thoughts as well. Be sure to hit the like button. We're not too far off from 100 likes. So if you've just come through, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. And of course, you get to support the growth of the channel. If you want to send in super chats with your comments, with your thoughts, with your opinions, with your questions, of course, that also supports the channel as well. And just the public service announcement. Every day, 4 p.m., we will be here live on stream starting tomorrow. We will be here live on stream, 4 p.m., talking about recent Manchester United news and other generic Premier League discussions. But I think I'm going to try and make it as interactive as possible. Tuesday, we're going to have some watch-alongs. Going to try to do a call-in show because I know I want to hear a lot of people's thoughts. Marcel is still ducking me, by the way. Marcel is avoiding me. He went to the game today, I think, as well. So I'll try and get him back on the channel as well. And I'll try and get a few other people. Just as the season is kind of coming to an end, I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing really to look forward to. I don't know. Am I the only one that's not really looking forward to the FA Cup final? I don't know. Maybe it's the heat of the emotions right now that I'm a bit irritated. Maybe that's why I'm saying I'm not looking forward to the final. Maybe tomorrow I might wake up and feel a bit different. Garnacho's brother's moving wild on Twitter, bro. He's moving wild. He's moving. He's so joke. He actually makes me laugh on Twitter. Of course, he's quite young, so opinions and all of that. Bring on Nuruddin. Nuruddin might lose it. He actually might lose it on stream. Like, I'm actually scared. He might get me demonetized. Big up to Kevin says, I don't see how anybody can watch this week in, week out, and we're supposed to trust the process, and it's the players' fault. We're set up to run and play without the ball. This system is rubbish. Can I say that this whole it's the players' fault? It's a lazy narrative. It's a lazy narrative that's used to gaslight people. If you don't share, can I say that, like, because I've met people, I talk about football all the time, can I say? Like, I talk about football with my friends, etc., family. There's some people who are Ten Hag out. There are some people that are Ten Hag in. There are some people that are on the fence about it. But the whole players' argument is a lazy narrative that people use to defend the manager that they support. So we saw this under Oli. Oh, it's the players. We saw it under Jose. Oh, it's the players. We saw it under Ralph Rangnick. Oh, it's the players. But it was at a point where things were going to shits. Erik Ten Hag has been Manchester United manager for nearly 2 seasons. And I'd say the best part of football we played was about 4 months. And I remember saying, again, I can't wait for the full view tomorrow. Oh my God, I can't wait for the full view tomorrow because I am coming all guns blazing. I am coming all guns blazing for the people that gaslit me on the full view, telling me to retract my statements about the manager, back in February because we were on a little winning streak, 3-game winning streak after we beat Wolves. We just about beat Sheffield and we just about beat Luton. I was gaslit on there, but tomorrow I am coming with a vengeance because the argument that it's all on the players is a lazy narrative for people that are looking at things and they support their manager through rose-tinted glasses. I will never say I want a manager to fail. Can I say that? And I think fans should equally feel the same. Like, I don't agree with people that celebrate if United lose because that might mean the manager gets sacked. I don't agree with that. I think that's ridiculous. Whether or not you like the manager, you should want the team to win always. But I think that there is nothing wrong with criticizing the manager and calling out the manager's bullshit. If there is, excuse my language, there's nothing wrong with doing that because sometimes it's right in front of you. And for Manchester United, it's been in front of us for the best part of 7 months, 8 months, 12 months. If you want to go all the way back to this time last year. Yeah, this time last year, I remember we beat Everton, just about beat Everton. It was actually quite a good game. That was probably our best game post Barcelona. But since the downfall of Sevilla, nothing's been the same. Nothing has been the same. And last year, United got top 4 because we managed to pick up points. We dropped points along the way towards the back end of the season. But the teams around us was bad as well. So they were dropping points. So we just about caught life. But let me be clear, and I've said this earlier in the stream, both can be true. It can be the players, it can be the manager. Both of it can absolutely be true. But I am absolutely sorry, and this is where people might disagree with me. The manager is responsible first after the players. The manager is responsible for the players. Can I say that? Marcus Rashford, for example, today, yeah? Marcus Rashford today only got hooked because he picked up a little something, a little injury, whatever it was. He picked up an injury, yeah? He wasn't playing good. He would have continued to play. Who is the one that's allowing him to continue to play? Erik Ten Hag. Who is the player? Who is giving the players instructions to vacate midfield and press in numbers and in clusters? Erik Ten Hag. And I'm not talking about just today's game. I'm talking about every game this season. Who is talking about high intensity? Oh, turn over this, turn over that. Who's talking about all of this stuff when it's clearly not working? This is not working in the Premier League. When I watch teams like, forget City, because City is probably one of the most well-drilled teams after, and then Arsenal, and then Liverpool as well. But when I watch teams that are well coached, yeah, it's evident that what they do on the football pitch in 90 minutes is what they've done on training facilities. It's evident. It looks like this is practice. It looks like it's from practice. They know where their players are. They know today Dallo was just running around headless, and then Erik Ten Hag had to give him instructions telling him, go overlap your winger. Go overlap, double up on that side. What happened? United got a goal. So sometimes I understand the sentiment that the players are clueless or the players are lost. They don't understand. They don't know what they're meant to be doing. So that is a question to me, is that down to the manager? Is the manager not conversing with the players to tell them is he not addressing the tactics to them well enough for them to understand it? Is he not dumbing it down for them? If they're dumb or not, that's a different question. But is he not dumbing it down for them? The playing style has not been an identifiable one. And Erik Ten Hag sat in a press conference, yeah, and said before this game, he sat in the pre-match press conference and he said that he's only had his strongest lineup when we beat City last year, January. And you know who was playing? Wan-Bissaka and Malacia were the fullbacks. Are you telling me that he thinks that his strongest team is Wan-Bissaka at right back and Malacia at left back? Fred in midfield. Let's be for real. That was not your strong. We had our strongest lineups, Wolves, Spurs this year. Beginning of the season, the first two games, just before Martinez got injured, before we went on to lose to Arsenal, etc. We had Varane, we had Lissandro, we had Casemiro. I think we didn't have Rasmus Højlund. That's it. We had Onana, we had Mason Mount, the guy that you spent the transfer window chasing, your first marquee signing of the summer. You had all your players. You had Anthony, you had Rashford, you had Bruno. You had your strongest team the first two games of the season. What happened? We just about beat Wolves 1-0, where we should have probably drawn because they were all over us. And we lost to Spurs. And from that day, from that Wolves game, I was saying I'm questioning this manager and his changes and his substitutions. And that's continued throughout the best part of 8 months. I'm so glad to see the end of this season. I'm not kidding, guys. I'm so glad to see the end of this season. Big up to show, been a member for 2 months. Big up, says the players are not elite or even very good as a whole, but their 17 defeats bad, -1 goal difference bad, bottom of UCL group bad, 600 shots faced bad. I don't think they're that bad. And that's why I always go to the notion that on paper, this is a good team. Like, some of these players are good players. They are not bad. They're not bad players. So I absolutely agree with this. We are not 17 defeats bad. That comes from training. That comes from That comes from the idea of I lost my train of thoughts, man. This is how you know I'm just livid right now. I'm actually just livid. I don't think I've been this livid this season. Like, the fact that United won and we're going on a rampage like this, as if United lost, that says a lot. That says so much. The fact that United won today and are through to a FA Cup final, and no one cares about the fact that they're through to that. Then nobody cares. No one cares, because really and truly, can I say also, yeah, I've been seeing through the bullshit for a long time. I've been seeing through this shit again, excuse my language, but I've been seeing through this nonsense since December time. I think the Forest, I want to say the Forest, was it Forest and we lost Christmas time. I'm trying to think, around the Christmas period we lost a game, and that was the game that sent me over. Like I came here and I said, sack him. I said, get rid of him. End of the season. If we can't get an interim manager, I said in December, let him ride it out, but we're not getting top 4. We're not winning anything. There's nothing happening. He's not. And can I say, wallahi, one thing I will not take. One thing I will not take. I could take maybe the arguments about injuries. I can absolutely, I sympathize with the manager for that. But I will not sit here and have people say that Erik Ten Hag has brought through academy players. And Erik Ten Hag is the reason why players like Kobe and Garnacho have had a pathway to the first team. Whether or not, if today I was the manager of Manchester United, yeah, there is, before I've even come in, there's a pathway from the first team, from the academy to the first team. It's not something I've created. I got flipping FA level 1 and level 2 qualification. That's all I have. I ain't got UEFA license and all of that stuff. I only got the 2 FA qualifications. But there will be a pathway implemented regardless. Erik Ten Hag is not the reason that Kobbie Mainoo and Garnacho have come through from the first team. I credit that for Garnacho is the recruitment that brought him in 2020, the same recruitment that brought in the likes of Hannibal, brought in the likes of Kambuala, etc. Yeah, that's the recruitment, the academy recruitment that brought them in. Kobbie Mainoo has gone from under 8s all the way up to the first team. Okay, Erik Ten Hag gave him chances, but what would have happened if Erik Ten Hag got his Frankie de Jong signing? You've now got Frankie de Jong and you've got Casemiro. What would that have meant for Kobbie Mainoo? Let's be real. If Anthony blew up and he was this magnificent right winger, yeah, 15 goals and 20 assists last season, do you think Garnacho's playing? No. It's the same way that I would not credit Louis van Gaal for Rashford's development per se, because that was circumstantial. Anthony Martial got injured. They needed, the only striker they had on the bench was a young kid from the academy. He came on. Kobbie was always going to be a good player. If you watch Kobbie Mainoo, I was watching him when they won the FA Youth Cup. Yeah, I knew that kid was going to come to the first team. Whether or not Erik Ten Hag was manager, I knew that was going to happen. Now, I appreciate the way that Erik Ten Hag has treated them, but I don't think he's treated them any different than how he's treated first team players. I mean, Garnacho has had a run of how many games? Nearly 30 games starting. He's not really caring for player welfare, is he? No, he's treating him like a seasoned professional. Kobbie Mainoo, same example. He's treating him like a seasoned professional. Who's the first person that gets taken off when he wants to bring on experience? He's taking off the youngsters. Yeah, and everyone's going to eat it up like, yeah, it's because they're young. They save their legs. Oh, they're not that experienced. You weren't saying that when Kobbie Mainoo was progressing straight from under 20. He didn't even just stop at under 21s for England national team. Everybody was gassed about that. People were gassed. Oh, look at him. He didn't even go under 21 straight to the first team. I think managers are not responsible for what the player has become after making the pathway from academy to first team. What I can say Erik Ten Hag did is he gave them chances and he gave them opportunities. I can give that to him. I can respect that. 100%, I can respect that for him. Garnacho, he gave him opportunities last season. This season, he gave Kobbie his opportunities and they both took it. Players like, I think, Amori Forson, players like Kambuala, I think those are more circumstantial where the team's running on fumes. There's nobody available. There is no one. So you have to go to your academy. But people like Kobbie Mainoo and Garnacho, the only thing Ten Hag can say was, I gave them their opportunities to start. Basically, I gave them playing time. But you can't say they are the players that they are because of Erik Ten Hag. No, you can't say that. You see, El Clasico is on, guys, and I don't even care about the El Clasico, even though El Clasico has actually kind of fallen off. I'm not gonna lie, it has fallen off a little bit. But again, I'm not really fussed about watching El Clasico now because I'm just so annoyed about this. I am just so annoyed by this. I want to hear everyone's thoughts before I wrap it up. I don't want to go on for too long. Big up to everyone. We got to 100 likes, man. I appreciate it. It will do good for the algorithm. And I think we got to 3.23k. I think we got to 3.3k. Let me double check. Let me just double check. Yeah, we got to 3.3k. So big up to everyone for helping me get to that. Like I said, we will be consistent from tomorrow, 4 p.m. daily streams here on the channel. So turn on your post notifications. So when I go live, you will get notified. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content as well. If you want to send in super chats with your thoughts, with your comments, with your questions, you can do that as well. And of course, that supports the growth of the channel, and for me as well, it supports me as well. But listen, Manchester United, firstly, let me start with the positives, okay? Let me be good and start with the positives. Man United men and Man United women, consecutive FA Cup finals, trips to Wembley for both of them. Credit for that. Kudos to that. Big up to them for that. I think the women's team, I'm more looking forward to the women's FA Cup final probably than the men's one. I'll be real. Although maybe I should stay. Should I stay away from Wembley this year, guys? Because I went to both last year and we lost both. Today I didn't go to the game. I could have. I didn't go to the game and we won. So maybe I should stay away from I don't know. Maybe I should stay away from the final. I don't know. But for me, that is the positive from the men's game today. Anything else is not a positive. Blowing a 3-0 lead, not positive. Mentality to finish, to win in penalties, not good enough. Not good enough. Simple as that. I want the end of this. I want the season to end. I just want the season to end. Honestly. You know United's down bad, can I say, yeah? You know United's down bad when they got like an 80% sell off in their website. They're trying to get rid of all their stock. They clearly they had too much stock and not enough people buying it. Casemiro, that penalty, you should be flipping embarrassed with yourself. The most senior player. Wallahi, that's what actually irks me the most. That's what irks me the most, is that the most senior player stepped up to take the first penalty. The first penalty, I think, is the most difficult one because he kind of set the tone for your penalty shootouts. He steps up to take a penalty. It wasn't even convincing. It was not even convincing. I don't know what it was. Did he try to dink it through the middle? Did he try to go for like a top corner chip? Bro, I don't know what that penalty was, but that penalty was not it. Casemiro, today, you're lucky to have been playing centre-back where you're not chasing circles for half of the game. You're not chasing shadows for half of the game, running around in circles in the midfield. He was having the field day flying into tackles because the game's in front of him. There's nothing behind him. He doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to panic. He just has to focus on what's ahead of him. But for that penalty, bro, you are a joke. You're a joke. And Onana, I was laughing when Haji Wright stepped up. To take the penalty. Yeah. Because in the game, for that penalty, the equalizer in extra time, he went to the keeper's left. The keeper went to his right. So Onana really thought he was going to go the same way twice. And I'm not going to lie, before the penalty shootout started, I said I wasn't convinced about Onana saving anything because I don't really remember him. I remember he saved the penalty in the Champions League. That's it. So I wasn't really convinced. And then he made a very convincing save to make up for that Casemiro miss. And I'm not going to lie, guys. If their captain didn't sky that penalty, I don't know what would have happened. Kudos to Bruno to step up and take his penalty. You lot already know my thoughts about Rasmus Højlund's penalty. You know, it's a good penalty. But the celebration was a disgraceful one. I get it. You're through to a cup final, but in the manner that we got to that game, in the manner that we got through that game, you shouldn't be celebrating like that. Just, go shake people's hands, keep it moving. go clap the fans, keep it moving. Simple as that. But United live to see another day. I don't know if Eric Ten Hag will. I'll be very honest. Like, I don't think United are like Spurs in the instance that they sacked Jose Mourinho just before a cup final. I don't see United doing it, but I have to believe and be convinced enough that this is the nail in the coffin for Eric Ten Hag this season and whether he's going to stay on. And I think it's going to go two ways. I think they're going to come out. They're not going to say he got sacked. They're not going to say he got sacked. They're going to come out and say, they're going to come out and say that he's resigned. This can't be a real comment. That cannot be real. I'm sorry, what? It's not an embarrassment. It's an achievement. Eric Ten Hag on Manchester United survived. No. That's not real. That is not real. That's a fake quote. That is a fake quote. That cannot be real. Guys, it's real. It's real. That's a real comment. That's a real comment. Ya la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh my God. That can't be. That's not real. That's not real. This man he's not a real person. He's not a real person. He's not a real person. I'm sorry, he's not. This can't be real. That can't. No, he's talking. And this is why I said I didn't want to see what he says in the press conference, because that's when he moves brazy. That's when he says, "Excuse me? It's not an embarrassment. It's an achievement." Oh my days. Oh my days. Nah. I need to find all the quotes from the. I can't wrap up the stream, guys, until I find all the comments from his post-match press conference. Oh my days. Oh my God, I'm so annoyed, right? That actually just pissed me off, guys. That actually just pissed me off. That actually just pissed me off. I'm not joking. I started shadow boxing with my flipping camera. What the hell? I'm trying to see his post-match comments like in full rather than watching the video. But that is delusion. That is delusion. I'm sorry. It's delusion. What else could it possibly be? What else? In my language, we say wawali. It's craziness. It can't be real. It can't. This cannot be real. It can't be real. Like, I'm not joking. Not Marcus Rashford limping through the mix zone. Oh my God, guys, please give me some time whilst I try to find all the comments. Let me actually listen to what he actually said. Let me listen to it in full rather than just jump into conclusions just based on the title of the video. Steffi, I should be like you. I should be like you and not watch it and not read it. And I say it every time. I get angry about him and then I watch it. All right, let's see what he's saying. So the journalist asked him, "Can you understand why fans would feel embarrassed about the manner that you've gotten to the final, and they're not happy about it, but they're embarrassed?" And he said, "No." He said, "No, I don't see it. At the end of the day, it's about the achievement. I see the mistakes that we make, and we can't look away from it, but it's not an achievement." He said it's not. He didn't say it's an achievement, guys. He said it's a huge achievement. He said it's a huge achievement. He didn't say it's an achievement. It's a huge achievement. Are you taking? It's even a big team like United. This is where he said it. He said a team like United a decade ago only achieved 3 finals, and we've done 2 in 2 years. And he's saying it's a good performance based on all the setbacks. He said, and today 3-3 is absolutely crazy. That decision is crazy. And he's saying for consistency, if they get a penalty, we should get a penalty as well. Bro. Guys, you see what I'm doing? For you guys, I'm watching this interview right now because I'm literally about to just bang my head in the wall soon. I'm literally, this wall behind me, I'm literally about to headbutt it. Yeah, he's saying for consistency, if they get a penalty for handball, then for consistency, we should get it for handball. And then he's talking about Chelsea, he's talking about other games, Liverpool. He's saying we should have had a penalty. And he's saying that we gave away debatable. He's saying it's a curse. He said it's a curse, the penalty curse. He sounded like well, like this guy got a burner account on football Twitter. Eric Ten Hag has a burner account on football Twitter because my guy just said it's a conspiracy against us. He said it's a conspiracy. The penalties, it's true, the level of officiating against Man United has been piss poor this year, but to come out and say it's not an embarrassment, it's a huge achievement. To come out and say it's not an embarrassment, it's a huge achievement. And then to go on and say United in the last decade got to 3 finals. And we've done it in 2 in 2 years. I don't know what I don't know what else to possibly say. I actually do not. I'm waiting to see anything else he said directly to the media. Normally he takes press conference, he takes comments directly from the media. This is the same guy that said to me, errors come to an end. The only error coming to an end is yours. The only error coming to an end is yours. There's nothing else I could possibly say. Like, no disrespect, but there's nothing else I could possibly say about this game. There is really nothing else. Harry Maguire, speaking to Man United TV as well after the game, said that he hasn't trained all week because he's had an injury. But he said, I always put the club first. And then he said, I don't want to hear what the players have to say. I don't want to hear anything that the players have to say. But I gotta wrap it up there, guys. I gotta wrap it up. You guys know what it is. I don't want to trigger myself anymore. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Big up to everyone that sent in super chats. Big up to everyone that liked the stream. I will be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. UK time, guys. I'm gonna need you lot here in your numbers. Oh, Keegan just coming through with a member chat, says the Aaron Wan-Bissaka handball was the same in Chelsea versus City, never a pen. Also, the manager's message behind closed doors is different. Much love, Mina. Big up to Keegan. I really want to know what he's saying behind closed doors. Like, honestly, I would love to know. But big up to Keegan, been a member for 5 months. Just like Keegan, if you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content as well. I will be back tomorrow and every day onwards from then, 4 p.m. UK time. We're doing the daily streams. We've got the call-in shows coming back this week as well. 1 call-in show a week for the members. And we just got a bunch of other streams, watch-alongs, all of that kind of stuff. You guys know what it is. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Manchester United caught life and find themselves in a consecutive FA Cup final under Eric Ten Hag. Of course, everyone has mixed emotions about it. Commiserations to Coventry, taking Man United all the way to penalties and then missing 2 penalties to kind of gift Man United the trip to the final. It is what it is. I'm ready for this season to be done. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. I'm out. Peace.